Justin, you guys started laughing. I was like, okay, this is awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that just kept going. Hey, everybody. Got two guests with me tonight. These two. So for those of you that don't know, which you should by now, by far.
They should, because they
'cause
thought
you've
I
been
was
on
Sarah.
so many
the
videos.
last-
all the
last chat.
videos. All the videos.
So,
All of them.
this is Jen.
Hi.
This is Brian. And yeah, Idaho Kylo. Nice. Welcome.
Congratulations, Idaho Kyle, you're first.
You're first.
Yay!
And you didn't even say first. Oh man, that's a bummer. So
I can't even get in.
We were wondering.
Are
when
I'm
you
still
first-
waiting. I'm still
They're
waiting.
still waiting? It's because
Oh,
you're in
see?
Alaska.
That's because
It's everybody in Alaska still waiting.
There
No,
we go.
I'm
Oh, there we
there.
go. Hey, Connor. Happy birthday, Connor. Isn't it your birthday today? Or was that yesterday? I think it's today. Anyway, first comment, not quite. Close.
A little behind.
Fire
That's
guy.
all right.
But yeah, a little.
A for effort.
Little pretty close. Sort of close. Anyway, good to see all of you tonight.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about.
We have no plan.
Q&A.
What?
Elbow,
really,
wrist.
really professional.
Frank wave.
We've been practicing.
Yes.
So, well,
Not
first off, I almost do have the video edited now.
Just do the uncut version.
We've been
You know
trying
what?
to talk him into an uncut.
I had like
For-
55 minutes of really shaky footage and looking
Happy birthday, Connor.
Happy
Happy birthday!
And yeah, and you got approved too. That's awesome. Congrats.
Yay!
The 50 minutes of footage.
50 minutes.
A
We've
lot
tried
of
to talk
which
you into
was
an 8-hour
a
uncut.
lot of which was super shaky and looking at people's butts. So
What's wrong? What's wrong with looking at people's butts? I mean,
Nothing wrong with butts.
This is a family show.
every kid has a butt. I
It's
mean,
true.
and most of them know
It's
what
true.
noise they make.
Everybody has
That's
a butt.
very true. That's very true. So there's that, and then but I did. It's almost.
We're
done
only
editing.
gonna have
It's
8
so
hours
close.
raw
So close.
of Kids
Kids
Day.
Day.
I know. Well, and so Kids Day is we have a big event coming up this weekend, Saturday, Kids Day, which you've seen in 2 years now past.
Yes.
But so I'm curious, would you guys like to see and would you watch a version of Kids Day in 360 video?
360.
Because it might be possible. It may or may not be possible. It probably will be
I
possible.
think that's happening.
It would probably be more enjoyable for them if it was like suspended, less like you
That's
giving
what
it to Jen
thinking.
or I, because if we do, they're gonna get motion sickness. We're like, oh look at oh here,
No.
Yeah.
it's
look
just-
at the ball, oh look, there's eyeballs. Oh.
Anyway,
That
so-
will happen.
so the reason I'm asking is I have
Sorry,
this
not
little.
sorry.
I was sent this little camera here, which is an Insta361. I kind of messed around with a little bit earlier. Oh, I just turned it on too.
Oh, okay.
So it streams in 360 at 4K too, which I
Ooh.
don't know if anybody's internet up here that can handle 4K streaming. But
You know, who
Um,
knows?
anyway, so
So it was sent to you. Who sent it to you?
Insta360 for
Oh.
my other YouTube channel,
Mm.
and they may be sending me their giant.
That wasn't a shameless plug.
No.
Sent
No,
to
so-
all-
but do go over
Yeah,
and like.
If you want to watch videos about Alaska, like exploring glaciers and going in ice caves and doing other stuff, and also a lot of drone reviews, a lot of drone stuff, you should go to my other channel, Jake Sloan.
And you know that Kodiak guy? He keeps asking these horrible questions about those
Yeah.
drones.
So
like
obnoxious.
startup.
Oh my
He's an
gosh.
obnoxious.
So
guy.
old.
So
I'm about ready to ban
So
it from
stale.
the channel.
ban him from the channel
Anyway, so
that he moderates.
I'm going to record Saturday on this as well
Okay.
as whatever else we do. But
You
this thing stabilizes the footage like you can't believe.
So when
I
you
double-
continue
I
to
can run
shake it
with
like
this.
this,
I double dog dare you to let Jen and I walk around Kids Day with.
Oh, I
Can I
totally will.
please?
So, but that I ran around with it and it looked like it was smooth as could
were
be.
you
It was
shaking it
crazy.
the whole time like that too?
While I was running, like, I mean, it was amazing. Anyway, but I did realize too, I was like, actually, this camera might be the best camera to do anything with because you can do the 360 video or you can just like frame it and just do a regular section of video later. So I was like,
Sweet.
that way, any events we're at, you could just go, hey, hold this camera. You don't have to point it at anything. Just hold it
Just hold it.
and walk around and you'll get the
That
footage.
Still may be a
nice. It's
struggle
pretty sweet.
for
Well,
Brian.
for
Oh,
and
and
I.
it even has the mount. That would be cool.
Yeah.
It's like R2. I
So
could
I'm
get that
thinking
from-
we can
yeah.
suspend it at Kids Day.
Oh,
between the
I'm thinking
doors?
R2. I'm thinking like, how do I get him to come out?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes, please.
Pop
right?
open the door and have that come out.
oh yeah.
That'd be awesome. So
Well, I could put that on the Periscope.
yeah. Anyway, I was amazed. The footage quality out of this thing is
And
great.
yes, we are definitely geeking out. Yes, we are.
So
Yes.
yeah, if you want to see more
He
stuff
doesn't
about
show
this,
us any toys until
that's
he turns the live
that's on
stream
the other channel.
But-
And later this summer, they're sending me their professional version, which shoots 8K times 6 cameras. And I have lots of plans for where
You'll
we're
be
gonna
able
go
to
and
see
do
all of
this.
his whiskers and
Every
8K glory.
single whisker.
It will be like all
Every
front and back.
single
No,
silver
so-
fox hair.
Well, the plan is to go find some massive glacier caves and explore some glaciers and do some other stuff, some mountains and stuff with that thing, because it does 8K and 360, and then it does stereoscopic or a 3D 360 at 6K, which is huge. I probably spend 2 weeks just like rendering it on my computer. But
Probably. Well, I mean, you do remember when you handed me the GoPro when we were at
yes,
at AFES and we were inside there, and it was like the GoPro going past the
That's when we
facility
tried
aisle,
to talk him into an uncut.
and then throwing the
8-hour
GoPro flying through the air. You know, this
vlog.
is what the the Millennium Falcon would look like
Yes.
flying through the store, whoa, and then
Yeah.
hurling the GoPro down the aisle. You know,
it was, yeah.
there were some snippets of that where it's like, look, here it comes.
There
Ah!
was a lot of footage. In
A
there.
lot of
and
footage.
There would have been a lot more, except for one of my SD cards went bad and decided not to work.
It was the
so
one
that
I was
stupid.
holding, so probably blame it on.
And it
Ghost.
was
Fine.
the worst part was it was the one time that little girl gave me a hug,
That's true.
and like that's when it failed. I was so mad about that.
It's
Anyway,
probably because I took it in and out of the freezer section through each one of the doors,
Mm-hmm.
checking out the ice cream, and
it could be. It could be. Anyway, so the next video you'll see is actually from weeks past that I'm almost done uploading, as I promised. I've been doing now for weeks and weeks, and I haven't done it yet, but I am really almost done. I like got all the footage is edited down, and now I just gotta like piece together and find some music. But then,
but can you hook that up to your YouTube channel? Could you live stream
yes,
that?
it live streams direct to YouTube
So
in
neat.
360. Wait, the Denina Center has pretty good.
Has internet. I'm just saying, is
So
it
there
could
might
be
be a
set there
live
and like an
stream.
8-hour live stream, like
a live stream on Saturday.
watching Jen and I drink water while everyone else
Shenanigans.
dance.
No,
Yes.
that will be mean. So anyway, be on the watch out for that. But it'd be 360, which is really cool. Anyway, maybe it might look
Shenanigans
really
will go
bad.
down.
I don't know. Yes, lots of stuff is gonna happen. So anyway,
They want to know about the Solo movie, whether we're hyped for it or
yeah, because
watching the
you
previews.
guys haven't answered that on the channel yet. Are you hyped for it? Are you excited about it? Are you
So,
like scared stiff?
So I am cautiously optimistic. I am
That's
going into this one differently and not watching any trailers for it.
It's an
Really?
interesting
I have-
experience doing
Wow.
I'm trying to do that.
That's impressive. I'm impressed.
So part of it is the great Gambino, who's playing Lando Calrissian.
Mm-hmm.
Also is a great, fantastic music artist, and my to-be brother-in-law happens to be his sound engineer, and he will be at my sister's wedding, so he'll be signing a panel on R2. So I'm kind of like, I'm not trying to jinx anything, so I'm like, I'm just gonna go see it in the theater and then basically go get him to sign it at the wedding. So I'm kind of like,
Dang.
I'm not jinxing. I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna enjoy it, and kind of like, I don't like the Emmys or the Oscars, and I totally
Right.
watched it this year because my brother-in-law was like 2 seats behind him, and it was like, oh, I hope he wins, because if he won, then my
'Cause
brother-in-law
then-
would have gotten an
yeah.
Oscar. So
That's cool.
yes, Trey, I'm going to meet him in September at my sister's wedding.
So I did that for The Last Jedi too. I did not watch
watch
it.
any
I did
trailers?
not watch any of your
Man, you guys
vlogs.
are
I watched no
amazing.
trailers. I read
It is hard.
no. It is
Yeah,
very difficult.
Super hard to avoid anything.
Especially when you're known at the hospital you work at as Star Wars Gen,
Right.
and
As opposed to
all
other
of-
Gen.
all the questions. So I'm excited because I'm watching nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do it. It's killing me. It's killing me. I'll admit it. It's
The
killing me.
Probably-
second time around is way easier. Like The Last Jedi was hard. The struggle was real. But now I'm just like, okay, well, there's a movie coming out. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna know nothing.
Yeah. So my thoughts on the Solo Trailer movies are, I'm not going to share any thoughts because these guys haven't watched any of them. So
Spoiler.
Sorry.
I
I'm
know.
not going to say anything. You watched my last live stream though. I did give my thoughts on that one. So Trey asked about the new Black Series Vader helmet. So yeah, about that. It's
The simple answer that I saw him do in the Sith Lord detachment was it looks like one of the Angry Birds pig helmets with the big visor going up right down the center. He does not like it at all.
It's just-
I would have typed that in the last time someone asked that the last stream, but that is a lot to
It's a
say in a
lot to
short
say
stream.
really
It's a lot
fast.
easier when he says it.
So
Yes.
I think it's a cool toy. I don't.
Toy.
It's a toy,
It's the
and I
key word
mean I
there.
know that too. It's like it's to the original movies. I was like, no, not even close. That looks like melted plastic. And yeah, if that's the case, then mine was like the original for all of the ESB helmets in Empire Strikes Back. Anyway, so it's it's kind of cool. I like the reveal and some of the details they put in. I think that's pretty cool. I think it'd be it's a good toy, and it might be fun to like have sitting around on a shelf with the separated so you can kind of see the
Yeah.
insides.
So
But
you're not going to wear it with your ESB Vader?
I am a Vader helmet is big. Wait, which Justin is that?
So Justin
Okay.
Logan, he wanted to know if you'd put that Black Series helmet to go with
Oh,
your
no.
Vader
No.
helmet.
No. It wouldn't look good either. It would look bad. So anyway, I did see there's a dad out there who built like the most legit kid's Darth Vader costume I have ever seen in my life. It's insane. And I think he used the Black Series helmet recently because it just was like because the kid was running around like with a ball cap and the jaw and everything like I was incredibly good. Anyway, so well, the Black Series is not a toy, it's a collectible. Yeah, so it is a collectible in the sense, but it's like just to be clear, a Black Series helmet will not get you approval into the
Yes.
501st Legion as a Vader, just like a Ruby's Darth Vader costume will not get you approval into actually pretty much a Ruby's anything costume won't get you
No.
approval into the uh into the 501st Legion. So anyway, hey Michelle, hey Christian. Guatemala. Nice.
It must be nice there.
It must be really warm, I would think.
I would think.
It's really warm up here, and by really warm, we're talking like
It was 52 today.
52.
50s.
Woo!
Rockin'.
But it stopped dropping below freezing at night, which is like
In your neighborhood, this
Well,
morning it was
yeah.
32.
So,
At
yeah.
my neighborhood.
It's pretty toasty.
That's what we know. We've turned the corner. When things stop freezing at night, then it's all over, and it's it's going to start turning green, which is always exciting. So. It's never going to be perfect. Kylo BS can be modified well, though. Yeah, that's true. Connor makes a good point. The Black Series Kylo helmet is a decent base
It's
to
very
make
close.
a Kylo helmet from. You have to mod a few things and fill a few holes, and
Isn't that what Sarah started with?
that's what she
Yep.
has.
That's what she
Still,
has.
yeah. I know a few guys that still true for the Black Series, and then there's all the guys that like got the Anubis, helmets, which are very, very nice. They're also really, really expensive, and they had to wait a long time.
They did.
And let's see, Trey Smith. Do we ever have time to play Battlefront 2? Ewok Hunt just released. Yeah, that's a solid no.
No.
It's a solid
No.
no.
Time is not a friend.
Precious
Not
Yeah.
at the
to
moment.
us.
So I spent 3 months finishing up my last 3 Saber builds, which is insanely long because really a Saber build from start to finish takes about 10 hours or 8 hours, depending on the build. And
10 straight hours.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah.
back to back.
Yes.
But when you're, parsing it
Uninterrupted
out at
hours.
30 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 40 minutes there, it takes a long
But Dad,
time.
Yes,
Dad, can I have a
uninterrupted
sandwich?
hours, which
Dad,
doesn't happen here.
Dad, can I go
Yeah,
play?
exactly.
That's what
Oh,
it sounds like
my
in his
gosh.
workshop.
Yes.
Michelle's in Arizona. It's 82 degrees already where you live.
See, that's vacation weather. That'd
Keep
be
it.
like the max here
Keep it.
in like July,
I don't want
August.
it.
That'll be perfect. We'll open the
Yeah.
windows, air everything out.
Like me
Yeah, it'll be great.
once.
Someone's getting a Vader.
K-Cent, going back and forth for weeks, any insight to help you decide between an FP and a CP? So FP is Phoenix props, CP is custom props. Both make great leather goods for Vader. Custom props makes actually pretty good soft goods too. The cape and robe is pretty good. For ESB, it has to be modified a little bit because the neck is a little bit big. But for for Phoenix props, the soft goods, as far as like the cape and robe, are not quite there. They've been kind of hit or miss, so I would say there. For leather though, go 2-piece. You want to go 2-piece and give yourself an extra 2 inches at the waist so you don't have belly button Vader.
Looks horrible.
Because nobody wants to see that. And honestly, either one of those guys you could go really well. Lately, though, I'd say that Custom Props has had the edge and been putting out some really nice stuff and really fast. Like usually, it's always been they'll tell you a month, and it's always been 90 days, no matter what they say. So expect it to be 90 days. But Custom Props has been doing really well lately, so I would lean that direction. If I were getting another one today, I would probably go that direction. So that's yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
But disclaimer, he's not getting another one.
No.
I think it's so funny
I'm
you
very
talk
happy
about
with
that
my
2-piece
second.
because you were so
I was
stinking
all-
nervous
you-
about that
I was
You
2-piece.
were
all about
sold
the-
on that
I
one
know,
piece.
I
and
was.
He
He was
swore
all
by
about the one
piece.
piece, and he
liked
had
his
that
onesie.
2-piece in his case for months and months and months. He's
And
like,
I
I'm gonna
wouldn't
wear
wear
it
it,
this
and I
time. I'm gonna
wouldn't
wear
wear
it this time. I'm gonna wear it.
Dude, I was
We're like,
like,
yeah,
He's like, this
whatever,
is
dude.
amazing.
Anyway, so the big difference is how much you can move around
won't
in a
stop wearing
2-piece compared to a 1-piece. Like a 1-piece, you got to get the measurements exactly right, or it's gonna not work. But a 2-piece, a
very
little more
forgiving.
forgiving in the measurements department and in the adjustment department if your weight tends to fluctuate a bit. But the amount of movement you get
You
in
were
a 2-piece
so
is
nervous
so
about
nice.
it for so
I
long.
know. I had the 2-piece for like 6 months before I
Yes.
finally wore it. It was terrible.
How long did you have the ESB portions?
Oh
A
man,
long time,
long.
right?
A long time.
A
Well,
long
okay,
time.
so true confessions.
This could
This- So I've had an actual ESB helmet for 6, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. I don't know. Whenever I started doing ESB, it's been a while. But for almost for everything you've seen so far, it's been my Return of the Jedi faceplate with the ESB dome. Because I didn't want to cut into my
he
ESB
wouldn't do it.
and put fans in. And so finally
terrified.
last week when Justin and Sarah were here and we did the live stream, just before that was the night that I cut.
Oh, I'm
my
so
helmet
proud of
open.
you.
So the next
Yay!
the next troop, the hospital this Thursday, I will be wearing my actual ESB helmet,
OMG.
complete, the
Complete.
dome and the faceplate.
Well, you are the Garrison CO, so technically you can approve that.
Right?
And it's technically like the
Stamp of
CRLs
approval.
say it can
The
be
kids
this
aren't
or
gonna know that.
that,
They're like,
and-
oh my gosh, you're like 2 millimeters off. They're gonna see
Yeah.
that 2 millimeter seam.
Nobody.
Oh my God,
Yes.
what are you
notices that.
panicking about?
Those kids on chemo are gonna notice every
Uh-huh.
millimeter.
It's the nurses. The
They
nurses
do.
are gonna be like, oh, you faker. be like the monkey from Family Guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Justin, if you had a
Oh,
full Darth
man.
Vader costume, you think you could get a Force Effects lightsaber with removable blade and Black Series helmet to go with it? Well, I mean, yeah, you totally could.
Yeah.
Honestly, to most
You
people,
could.
like you would look just like Darth Vader. Like they don't see a difference because anybody dressed in black with a helmet on is Darth Vader to most
Yes.
people. So
I could put a black bucket on with this shirt and walk around and be like, oh, it's Darth Vader
Exactly.
and Darth Vader and,
And
I
Darth
love
instant
And I have hair.
You
Darth
have hair.
Vader.
Everybody
And
else.
then somebody,
Hashtag not Vader.
somebody sent me a picture of 11 people standing, and 9 of them were it was like TIE pilots, a shadow guard or a couple of shadow guards, and anyway, a black stormtrooper and 1 Darth Vader. And so my reply, and then 2 officers, black officers.
Mhm.
And so my response was, "Oh, so there's 9 Darth Vaders and 2 pre-armored Darth Vaders before he got burned in the lake of lava." And yeah, the response I got was, well, I won't repeat it here. It was something with laughter and some other stuff thrown in there.
This is true.
Profanities.
So, do I play X-Wing? I honestly don't play any video games right now.
Not enough time.
There's just not enough
No.
time. Everything else that's going on is just keeps us all.
I live like
Yeah,
12
plenty
miles away. This is
busy.
the first time I've seen him in like 2 months.
It's been ridiculously long.
He ain't got no time.
So partly because a lot of my work lately has been a 120-mile drive north of here, and so a lot of my time has been driving back and forth. And when I got my oil changed today, the guy who changed my oil said, "Weren't you just in here?" And I said, "Yes, I was."
Yes. Uh-huh.
Like last
5
week.
or 6
Last
weeks
week.
ago, and yes, I already drove 7,000 miles, and
I
it's
don't
time for
miss
an oil
those
change.
days.
Ugh, I can't wait for these to be done. So, yeah, X-Wing board game, still same difference right now.
We could play it via distance.
That's true.
I moved TIE Fighter to Square 72. Check.
Remember
can
that?
FaceTime.
I was like,
FaceTime play board games.
yeah, if it takes 3 hours to play, I'm definitely not going to be doing that. So
It's like your kids would be like, Dad, look, they're
my
flying around the
gosh.
board. All right, we're
Oh,
done.
yeah, the
The
kids
Yeah.
will
game's
trash
over.
the game.
only if I can play it in costume. Michelle wants to know what our favorite Star Wars characters are. Mine's Darth Vader, so that should be known pretty well so far.
I mean, I would hope that people would know that by now.
I would.
Somebody actually asked that in the last live stream. I'm like, really? Are you new? Are
They
you-
were. They were.
Apparently.
They were new.
They
yeah.
were. There's always.
Michelle's not new. She's been around.
I mean, there's 6,000
since the
people that are
beginning.
watching, whether it's live or not. So it's hard. It is hard work to click backwards and go do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Jen, yours.
So to be honest,
You like Greedo.
oh goodness, no. No. I
Not
mean,
quite.
Vader is Vader and Leia are my favorites. I like them both for different reasons. The internal struggles they deal with. I like the characters as a whole.
She likes the whiny Vader.
No, I don't like whiny Vader.
But you were supposed to be.
No, not prequel Vader.
No.
No.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, I think the shirt says it.
Yeah. If you don't look too carefully at his shirt, you think it's something else.
It's not ACDC.
It's
It
not
is
AC/DC.
R2D2. He has a concert series on the back.
That-
So I would say R2D2 and Chewbacca are probably my two favorite. They're kind of iconic support characters. They're always there, but if you took them out of the storyline, it would be completely different. They do like a level of comic relief.
Yeah.
They relieve the stress, and the tension. They bring some of the humanity and partnership and the group togetherness. They're kind of the glue that holds everything together, and that's why they're in all of the movies.
In all of them.
Yeah.
Well, Chewie's not. He's in some of the prequels, not all, but R2 is. I think R2 seriously just force projected, Darth Sidious. And all the others. He's the one that
Yes.
He
knows
was actually
everything.
the mastermind.
He was behind it all.
He
It's
has the
true.
whole map of the galaxy. Everyone else is
does
like,
know
maybe we can find the
everything.
pieces. R2's like, oh, let me wake up a second. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
got that. That's what I
Yeah.
got here.
You think he was just getting tired in his old age?
Yes,
Took a long nap?
he was cranky. He's like,
Right?
dude, my master took off. I'm just gonna sit here and chill.
Let
Time for a
all
long
you bozos
nap.
look for this map chunk I
right.
got sitting in
C-3PO's
here.
complaining about another part. I mean, whether it's silver arm, red leg,
Yeah.
I'll get back together again.
C-3PO was born old,
It's the Wookiees' fault.
built old, I guess. Hey, Mike from Arkansas, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, but clan of the Mercs. I'm glad you finally caught a live stream too.
Yay!
Thanks for tuning in.
Yay!
I'm glad you're here. You think R2 will make some sort of a cameo in Solo?
So probably not. We've been watching for other droids.
I don't think he
so.
will.
He doesn't really
I don't
fit.
know how
It's
I
a
don't know
branch
why he
off.
would.
how they
Yeah.
would fit in there.
Unless it was like they passed in the distance or something, and that would totally be just one of those things for people, not
So
the story.
it's kind of like Rogue One. Rogue One really did not have R2 in it. There was literally one scene where basically C-3PO and R2 standing in the hangar bay. Like, oh, well, why are they going to Scarif?
Right.
Why are they going to Scarif? No one tells me anything. And that's the scene, and you're like, oh, they're there.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with them in the storyline. So could they throw a little
Something
cameo
like
in
that
there?
in, sure.
Yeah, probably because Anthony Daniels still has the contract for being in all the movies.
Yeah.
So I would expect whether he's doing a voice in there, you might hear. Now, it could be something as simple as hearing a squeak and a beep in the background, or running into a canteen
true.
somewhere. I mean, just hearing the sounds of them would be enough to solidify. Yes, they're there. It's part of that
Yeah.
presence.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, we need to. Schwolf359 needs to get banned. Loves Jar Jar. No.
No.
Wait, where?
Right with the smiley faces and all that. Right.
Shame on you.
Sidewolf359. That's
I'm gonna
it.
have to
Shame
mute you
Bye.
for that.
you.
Oh, that's just bad.
That's not okay.
So bad. Just a second. I'm gonna ban him. My phone. You can't do that. Can't even mention Jar Jar.
No,
Not on this stream.
not on this stream. You can't.
He says, "Don't ban, don't ban." He was kidding.
All right.
Okay, fine.
Connor says the Nova Kylo premiere still haven't shipped. Oh my gosh. What's that been like 2.5 years now?
They had to try the box. It was a different box.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, if it was anything like the Imperial officers, so being near and dear to my heart, we watched their Grand Admirals, their admirals, oh, that's totally
Excuse me.
throwing me off.
That really helps anybody with ADHD.
Ah.
Squirrel.
But all their officer costumes, while they were originally coming them out, that was, oh, we're gonna have it. No, the packaging's not safe, so we have to send it back for testing. And then, okay,
Yeah.
we got that back. Well, how we wrapped it's not gonna be safe, so we have to send that back for product
Yep.
testing. And it was like 18 months went back and forth just in like, hey, how they're gonna package it. So, God bless you waiting on that
Yeah,
Kylo suit.
he's been,
'cause-
yeah. That's like, I know a few people that have gotten the Anovis Kylo helmets, but it was kind of like one of those things that they had a batch. I don't know how they got them or whatever, but it was the same thing with Vader. Like, they supposedly had all of the parts ready to go, and then it was like 9 months of product testing on the packaging to be able to ship it out. And a lot of that actually is because of Disney, because Disney
Sounds about right.
wants to cover their
Behind
backside.
It's the
you know.
legal to make sure that you can't get a plastic bag that you stick over your
Yeah.
head and go, look, I'm a
It's-
stormtrooper.
It's yeah. That's crazy.
Sounds about right.
Trey says he watched The Phantom Menace the other day and was surprised how fastly the one we don't speak of shows up.
He does, and
It's
should be
true.
executed.
Right.
Like,
Way too early.
There's
that was
too
where
much of him all over the place.
that's where Darth Maul failed and should have been like,
I do subscribe to the theory that the one we don't speak of was actually the mastermind behind it all. Like, that theory has a lot of weight
it
behind
does,
It
it
does.
does.
He happens to be there at every
Sounds-
pivotal moment to set up the whole empire.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. No. So. Yep. So.
With needle and thread.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else on your guys' minds? How's R2
That's
coming?
kind of dangerous question.
Because like way back in the live stream at one point,
We did have the
July.
dome in here.
before a lot of life happened,
A lot of life.
Oh yeah.
you had the dome in here.
It did.
And I mean, but things have progressed since
They
the
have.
dome.
So I mean, it's the point where as soon as I get back, I'll have I'll get his skins, finish getting mounting. So there was actually a R2 builders dealt in tolerances that are like sub-millimeters, and these two had to listen to text
Yes.
messages. I'm like, oh, it's like a 0.5 millimeter seam. You can see it. It's just like there. It's like, oh, and they're both on the other end going, really? You're really?
Nobody's gonna know but you.
Going where?
Well,
where?
if you
Could you draw a red circle around
Where?
it, please? 'Cause I
Yeah.
And he
can't.
did literally.
blew it up, highlighted,
Yes.
it's like right here. It's so big. Oh my gosh.
No, it's
So-
not.
I got over myself and was like, okay, like a 0.5 millimeter gap. By the time I add paint and clear coat, it's no one but me is gonna know it's there.
When he's working on R2 and he starts a conversation with, do I just need to get over myself? We know that it's gonna be
We know
something.
it.
But
Yeah.
I've been building his periscope for so I have his periscope. I built that. I did a stream on that, and I've got his lifter. So it's got a lifter and rotator, so it lifts it out of the dome and rotates it. And it is some fine engineering, and it's one of those. It's a very limited run item. I think the last one was like in 2014, and I managed to get it off the
Wow.
junkyard. Someone took pity on me, and I got it. And it was one of those like, oh, I should go put that together. And it came together. It's so nice. It's so well engineered.
Is there room for a 360 camera inside?
Well, I could definitely find a
turning it on.
place.
That's what the little wheels were turning about over
Yes,
there.
there's
It's really small.
well, and it has, actually inside the periscope, I could easily set that inside that, and that
See?
rises out of the dome and can turn left, right. Now, but the only thing is, it wouldn't be 360,
But that's okay. You can use this to frame it.
Oh,
so it only
absolutely.
doesn't- Yeah.
and I'm going to figure a way to get a
It'll happen.
how to mount underneath the center pie panel, because the center pie panel opens. And I'm trying to figure out how to do a 3 or 4 point. I might 3D print a mounting point to basically have a camera attachment in there, so you could just screw it down in, and the dome would be up like this, and it'd just be just over the dome,
just
just
peek
enough
over
to
the
peek out
edge.
over the top.
Ooh, that'd be
Be able to screw
sweet.
in and out. So
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Wait,
It
what?
has been an
You're
effort of
building him.
love.
Oh, yeah.
For
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah, if you think my Vader took a while at like 2.5 years or 3 years or whatever it was, R2 is making that look like a blip on the radar screen. It's yeah.
So Connor, that's kind of the idea, but R2 has to get back up here.
Yes.
And I have to finish stalling and worrying about all of the 1 millimeter seams that just
Yes,
He'll have lots of hospital visits to go to.
a lot.
Well, you can start working the coordination for that now, since we'll have to go through like the whole
Oh, yeah.
sanitization. Like, how often does he have to get
Do
sterilized?
you not
and
think we've
wiped?
already mentioned this?
Well, I'm sure they're
We've
all
had
over it.
conversations about this.
Oh,
already.
native and Prov are all
Yes.
over it. I'm just more like,
Won't be a problem.
oh, look, it's an oxygen line. Oh, there's a 300-pound droid on your oxygen line. I'm so sorry. The back came out. Oh, sorry.
Put our isolation gown on him.
This is R2. You
Yes.
can't really see most of him, but he's there.
Well, we could put one of the over the CPU arms.
There we go.
Have it so arms like this. Give
That'll
you a
work.
hug.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
Connor, you have no idea about my OCD. It's horrible.
Oh.
Jen watched me take the radar eye, which had a beautiful blue, and
it was so sexy,
deep
gorgeous.
and clear and just looked amazing. And there were 2 little traces on the right hand side of the radar eye where it's supposed to have metal on the edges. You're supposed to see baro aluminum. Everything off.
Started all
and
over again.
Another 8 hours later, and I had the radar back to where I wanted it. But, that's OCD.
So somebody else asked about the Black Series helmet. I answered it earlier in the stream, but I'll answer it again. It's a fine toy, collectible toy, and you know.
Come on, the word toy is hurting people's.
I'm sorry if the toy.
It is a collectible.
It's a
collectible.
It's a collectible.
Not toy. Sorry.
Toy-ish, not.
Ish.
Yeah, Meg says you moved and touched your knee, and it's over.
What?
And that means I must ban you because the mod is on screen.
Dun 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 dun.
Look, the phone's not even in my hands. I can't do it. You can behave.
Yeah. And then let's see. Somebody else asked, what was it? Oh, Justin asked what my favorite helmet was. Darth Vader, of course. If you ask what my favorite anything is, it's Darth Vader.
It's Vader.
But which helmet?
The ESP helmet.
Right. I mean, but the ESP and
just
RLTJ are such a close.
They're close. ESP just has a slightly meaner look because the dome is a little bit lower.
Yeah.
And then the brow kind of has
It's
a little bit of a
definitely the brow
dent
V,
there.
yeah.
And yeah, and the neck is a little narrower too, which is interesting because when I tried it on, I was like, oh, I have to squeeze my head into this one, not just set it on. It's like
kind of wiggle in there.
We have fishing stories too, Meg. I've seen them both dip netting.
Yeah.
True.
We spent some time together on a
Yes.
boat. A lot of time on a boat, like
Hours.
the
hours.
vast majority of the hours in one day.
Yes.
For several days in a row.
That'd be another
And
good
then
one.
he left
for a
you and I
360.
alone, exhausted
been
and punch
great.
drunk.
Right? And
Oh,
then I
man.
left because I had to be back for something, and so I left at like what did we get off the river at midnight or 1 a.m?
Well, no, we finally got back to the cabin at like 1.
1, and then I packed up my kids and my stuff and
you
drove
all
4
night.
hours
all night
back here and
Mhm.
texted them as soon as I arrived, so then I didn't fall asleep on the road on the way home or something like that. But yes, it was quite a bit. So Connor, any consolation, he spent a month painting and repainting his Adel version 2 Kylo. You got an Adel helmet. Those are nice. I like those. Is it one of the cold cast ones? Because the cold cast ones, like, those are pretty sweet. Yeah. Ethan wants to know, where did we all get our costumes? So mine came from like 8 or 9 different countries.
It's a complicated question.
It's a very complicated question.
Jen's is easy. She just points to
Mine's
us.
really yeah.
Well, yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. So Jen's current
Given a gorilla
costume
taped box
that she wears was a Christmas gift because the lady has been amazing and still is amazing, but like she'd never seen Star Wars. She showed up after not working or not sleeping all night because she worked all night, drank a Starbucks coffee about that size, and then jumped right into our very first kids' day, which was a nightmare to begin with. I mean, it wasn't a nightmare, but it was just insane. We were not prepared for that. And then she came back
the next week.
To do it again, which I started wondering sometimes about mental health.
3
of
kids
people that
days
do
later.
that. 3 kids days later, she's still here. But no, she was support crew, like our only support crew, pretty much, for 30 something,
30 troops.
30 troops, and just coming back, and then finally, at some point, Brian sat down and made her watch Star Wars because she hadn't seen it, and then she's still here. But her costume she has now is not the costume that she will have, the only costume she will have forever.
No.
Because there are plans in the works.
There are a couple plans, actually.
There are a couple of plans.
Yeah.
I keep trying to tell her she needs to do an Emperor Palpatine because she tells everybody what to do anyway. And I think she could do the evil laugh really, really well. No, but you just tell people what to do. So I don't know if you can.
I actually laughed like that the other night.
Yeah. Just
running in my head. Do Palpatine.
Yeah, no, but that's not the first next costume that I want you to do.
No.
I want you to do the one you want to do.
Yes.
So, and
but,
then when you're like,
but I mean, like part of your costume. Well, wow, you're so hefty. Jeez. Is that like the trick chairs? They all do that.
No, I used to have one of those trick chairs that it leaned back like 3 inches further than you always thought it was going to lean back, and it never failed. Somebody would sit back and lean back and think they were going over. It was cruel, but it was fun to watch. It used to be in my studio. It wasn't the best thing to do for people who were getting ready to perform and record something.
But that'd be good for live streaming.
It was so funny to watch. It would be good for live streaming. So I should have guessed
live streaming entertainment.
Like, this is your chair.
Please
and they lean back.
It was a big chair too, so I was like, "Hey, take the big chair. Why don't you take the big chair? It's comfortable. Sit down on here." Oh, good, Meg Tooth. I'm glad that I should just call you Tom. I'm glad that you're back online now. Because anyway, what is that tattoo, Jen? Which one?
Which one?
The right arm.
Probably this one.
Right.
It's
the
an
other
owl.
right.
The other right? That's the right.
That's my right.
That's not a thing. People say the left, the other left, because
the other left.
I know.
Right,
right? Left, right?
Right?
Sure.
Yes.
I'm being my normal self. Hey, Justin.
Oh, Justin made the stream. Yeah.
It is an owl that is laced with peacock feathers at the end.
Did you see that somewhere? Or did you come up with that on your own?
No, it was custom done.
Nice.
She took what was in my head and
made it. I'm always impressed by tattoo artists. That is a skill.
Yes.
I should say I'm impressed by good ones.
I had to think for a second. I'm like, which one is visible? Because I have.
How did you draw
11.
So you're like, wow, do people really want you to do that? Exactly. Connor wants to know, how's the plans for Chewbacca coming along? They're coming along really, really, really well. There will be more news about that soon, but not tonight. So, but yes, there is, it's coming along. It's coming along fantastically well.
Modding from here.
Yes.
He's always watching.
So I'm really excited to do Chewbacca.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
I'm
just the thought of having to duck through every doorway.
I'm excited for you guys.
I can't wait to have to duck through doorways, which is bizarre because my whole life it's like I hate hitting my head on stuff.
All the things.
Because I always hit my head on anything. But yeah, Chewbacca I think is gonna be fun. Well, and for me, I said it last stream too, is like for me going from being Darth Vader, like stoic, standoffish, intimidating and stuff to that.
Not in hard armor.
No hard armor. And then being able to just be a goofball and it's okay. Like I'm really, really excited about that. So
Vader can be a
he
goofball.
Tends to get a little jealous sometimes of what Brian and I are capable of doing in costume.
So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Yes. I do realize though it's it's gonna take forever to do those
Yes.
suits.
They will be the best live streams ever. And hook and stitch and
I should
hook
live
and
stream.
stitch and a shot.
8
and
hours.
hook and
8 hours
stitch.
of me tying hair.
Yes.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, no. So I do have friends that live stream that, and I would get on and just taunt them like, this is like watching paint dry.
It's better than
It
paint.
is.
It's like
But you
on
can
and
have
on
a
and
fan and Bill will be like,
That's true.
this is my flowing hair.
Yes.
That's true. So, and then I went back and looked at their pictures because I was like, I want to see realistically how long is this going to
How
take to
long-
hook
yeah.
and tie an entire Chewbacca suit or a Wookiee suit.
Sure.
And I went back and it was like, he goes 8 hours and he's holding out his arm like this. And it was from here to there, the bottom half of the arm was 8 hours of tying. I was like, oh Lord, this
Oh.
is going to take a long time. Because if you realize that it took me a month to do a 10-hour saber modification. So in a month, I'm going to show you off the bottom of an arm and it'll have hair on it. It'll be amazing. Not in a month from now, but like once I start.
Just remember keep your shaving kit away from your kids.
Yes.
Because they'll be
And
like,
scissors.
oh, look, he
Scissors,
needs a
shaving
haircut.
kits, razors of any
Stop.
kind.
No, that was a month of hair.
Would
Yeah.
end badly for your children.
Yes, that would not go over well. That
No.
would be, it would be a coronary and a stroke on my part and
Oh, it would
something
be.
worse for them.
Could you imagine? So we did TSA through Juneau and through Anchorage with our costumes. Could you imagine 2 Wookiees going through? Like,
I
what
just,
is that a small child folded up like really? It's
if
got density.
if we get to do when the Wookiees are finished, and if we get to do another airport send off, make a wish,
Ooh.
Vader won't be making an appearance
No.
that night, but a Wookiee sure as heck will.
Yes.
Man, that would be.
And the
I just
entire
want to
airport will
run down a
stop.
concourse in a
Yes.
Wookiee suit and see what people do.
They would probably like.
Oh. Yeah, well, because that's kind of
I'd
what
be too
happened.
shocked to
Like,
get the phone out. It'd just be
it was like we're going and they're like, last call for flight, whatever, and there's a whole bunch of people lined up at this gate. We're walking down, and you see the whole everything, and just stop and like,
Stops.
wait, what
What?
is going on?
Well, I'm glad it turned out that way.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
fortunately, security all knew we were there, and it was all kosher. So,
yes.
which is really awesome, actually, that we were even able to do those a couple of times. Which, if you
Yeah.
haven't seen them, they're in videos past, and you
Because
can
they
click
don't
back
let
and look.
other airports do that.
I know. I didn't realize it was such a rare thing. Let's see. Somebody asked me about Adam. This is mostly why Brian's on the live stream, because then
Yeah.
there's like no dead air
No.
ever.
Never.
So, and if you haven't figured this out, like Brian is normally on the live stream, but you just see a name in blue with a little
Yes.
wrench next to it.
It's the one that goes, silence, you're in timeout.
That exactly.
Like
Moderate
Deadpool
all
on
the
drugs.
things.
So somebody asked me if I watched Adam Savage's when he built his bandolier and bag, and yes, I've watched
Yes.
it several times because I'm planning on building my own bandolier and bag.
Yes.
I may never use it depending on how it turns out, but I want to
was still cool.
try.
It
I want
was
to
still
build it.
cool as
It's
hell.
really cool. It's really awesome.
Well, and then he built that whole satchel where he had the 3D
Yeah.
printed C-3PO in
Like-
there and had the right
Yes,
sound pieces.
Somebody wants me to do that.
Justin, that's what
I
that was
know.
his suggestion.
Justin brought it up
also.
last week.
Trying to
Last
get
week?
away from weight and hard parts. That's weight.
It's a
And hard
bag.
parts.
It's a
weight and hard
backpack.
parts.
But he had to have like, did you see he had like a whole under his suit, he had a whole like backpack strapping system
Because
to
it
support
was
the weight.
automated. It was
I
automated.
know,
He
I
had all
know.
those servos. So if you don't have that in there, then
Yeah.
it's like, whatever.
But you
See?
know,
Do it.
so but Justin
Has more
shush.
ease in it, Justin. Has more ease.
That's-
Do it.
So the problem is, if we put together a C-3PO in a bag, I know how these two brains work. Is, oh look, it's C-3PO. Wouldn't it be cool if the eyes lit up? Oh look, it's C-3PO.
Hey,
Wouldn't
so-
it be cool if he like talked a little
Yes.
bit? Oh,
What,
look,
but
it's
what you're
C-3PO.
forgetting,
Wouldn't it be cool if he moved?
R2 has the magnetic grapple. I just haven't mounted it in the back. So technically, R2's or C-3PO's head could be bouncing along behind R2 driving, and you're like,
Yeah, let's do that. We could do that.
That would
I
be the best thing ever.
could go for that. We could film that.
I'll put Adam Savage to shame.
All is forgiven, Deadpool.
Oh, all right.
Keep it family friendly.
Do eat. Hey, got it. That's
Very
right.
good.
Do it.
There you
Excellent.
go.
Do it meow.
Right, meow.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen for a while. Even if I started tying hair tonight, it'll be a while.
One.
It'll be a long time. I can
Sweetie,
tell
can
you
I borrow your brush?
that. So, because the plan is,
Two.
the plan was that in a amount of time, when Brian is back up here full time, we were going to make these things together. The sad part is that I realized, like, if we both started making them now,
We'd still
by
be
the
making them
time
together.
he's up here, we'll still be
It'd
making them together.
still be
We'll
ma-
get them
yeah.
finished at some point around then. But anyway, so it's a long build, unless you have just oodles of time and money, apparently, because you know it's by
Hair is
Your hair's
expensive.
not
it is
cheap.
expensive, and that's
Hair is
even if you get this
expensive.
cheap synthetic hair, it's expensive. If you get the like real hair from whatever that place is, something fiber.
That would be your wife's hairbrush.
There's an idea.
Yeah.
Um,
Sweetie,
take
should
you
I brush your
25
hair?
years.
I just cleaned out the tub drain
It
upstairs.
puts the
There was a
lotion
lot of
on
hair
and
there.
or it gets the hose again.
So gross. You could get C3PO printed really thin to keep the weight down. Yeah, but the trouble is, like, C3PO, the shell of C3PO wouldn't be the issue. It would be all the electronics that he and I would add to make C3PO move, talk, eyes, and all of
Because
that.
they couldn't
The
just
hidden
leave
3D
it.
camera
The
somewhere in
hidden
there.
3D
Yeah.
camera, like all of that would be added, and then
They couldn't just leave it the 3D printed
would-
shell.
get heavier. Yeah, so we'll just start with the Wookiee costume and see if I can get that far.
We'll start there.
We'll start there.
We'll start there.
Baby steps.
Because I've already had conversations with several people who build Wookiees masks and build Wookiees about like making the lips move independent of the mouth and all that. And anyway, a few of them just set me straight, like don't
Don't.
try it yet.
Don't.
Don't do it. Anyway, yeah.
So again, your Sith holocron back there keeps getting all the attention.
So this space is an actual recording studio that's in my house because I could I could show it.
Look at me,
off,
I'm by.
But
Yeah.
Moderator Brian at work. So that thing back there is a diffuser that does actually a job in this room to make it sound just right.
There's a diffuser there.
And there's a diffuser there, and there's over there, and over
They're
there.
everywhere.
Like this thing back here, these slats, that's a diffuser. And it's all built with the idea of that sound has to act a certain way in this room so that when I'm working, it sounds correct. Anyway, but it looks really cool with LED lights around it and lights shining on it. So it's a great backdrop. That's what it is.
Yes, Tom.
If you really, really want to see it, I think I have a video on my other channel, the Jake Sloan channel, about building it because it was days
'cause you
and
did.
days and days and days and days and
In
days.
your
and days.
Okay, how much did you fret about it? Ooh, I'm a millimeter off on this piece. Do I
They
just
did.
A lot because the
it will
thing
challenge the
literally-
sound by 3 decibels.
it goes from 1 millimeter to 24.3 millimeters, and there's 2 to 3 of every single millimeter increment in all of those in between there, and they all have to be that and placed in that pattern because that pattern is what works the best. It took a long time.
It did. Watching him glue it was
Wow.
entertaining. I sat in a chair and trolled him slightly and also gave encouraging words as he cut it. Was
like,
that block 52 or 53?
Well, and then
Did
you're
you put
going
you put it in the wrong order.
with a chop saw, you're supposed to go ahead and just shave off 1 millimeter of wood without it breaking or cracking, or it took some
Shave it
time.
out.
Those first few took a
Meat
while.
slicer.
Well, yeah, I did. I wish I had one. Connor wants to know how I'm gonna do sound in a Wookiee if I'm gonna do speakers. So
You're gonna practice.
I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna practice a lot because I don't want to do speakers.
That's what this room is for.
That's
Yes.
exactly right.
Totally
Next
soundproof, and he can be in there going.
Because there is an app that, like, you make any noise at all, it makes the Wookiee sounds, like the recorded Wookiee sounds, which is great, except for you don't know what sound it's gonna make.
Yeah.
So you could be like trying to greet a child running up to you, and you get a growl coming out of that. Gonna bode
It's a
well for. So I'm gonna practice a lot. I'm gonna practice a lot. And if I have a sore throat, maybe I'll do the sound thing. But
It's
otherwise.
no worse than you sitting here, the two of us sitting here for what was like 3.5 straight hours listening to James Earl Jones. No, a little deeper inflection.
Yep.
Come on, say it again. Say it again. You know, so what you have to imagine is Jake is standing and has only the chest piece on,
Only
the mic
that.
on,
Yep.
no balaclava, no helmet, and I'm not looking at him. I'm trying to listen only the chest, and it's like,
We're just listening.
no, and he'd say it like, no, little more Englishy, deeper, draw out this, and he'd do it again. Yes, okay, let's go on to the next word. So if we do that much to get you to sound like James Earl Jones,
It's gonna be big.
Well, I can only wait to be sitting in here and it sounds like a herd of Wookiees.
Because it'll be him and me trying to do it together. We'll have Jen in here. Hopefully not like
she's just gonna pee her pants.
Anyway, so Tom wants more R2 vids. Tom, if you want R2 vids, you got to go to Brian's channel and check out some of his vids.
So I will probably do a stream when I get back because I have to solder up the periscope lifter. So I'll probably do that.
Okay.
I think I left my flux fluid with you before I left. I don't remember. I can't find it. I had to get more flux fluid. And amazingly, it's not easy to get in Washington. There's like a place north of Seattle. It was like,
wow,
really? Like, okay. It's like ordering shit in Alaska. Stuff in Alaska.
You didn't, I didn't.
Beep. Yeah. So Tom also wants to know, what's your next costume?
Well,
TBA, like to be announced, or
well, I mean, I may have mentioned this on a live stream.
I think you probably have. It's been a while.
It's definitely TL, the boss lady.
Yes.
The boss lady.
It will be Seven Sister from Star Wars Rebels.
Yes. Hey. She has a lightsaber already.
Yes, she does.
It needs to be modded.
I do.
Tom?
No.
Needs a crackly.
I already have a lightsaber guy.
Yeah, poor Tom. It's been 6 months trying to figure that stuff out. Worth it. Totally worth it. But I don't envy you because, oh my gosh, so awesome. Let's see. Chewbacca cosplayer at a con. Nice. What's Brian's channel? Brian Peterson, right?
Yeah, I think it's my name. I think you've liked some of my stuff, Tom. It was when I had a couple of I flew a drone. There's a video on there.
Yep.
There was the greeting to Tiffany for the troop that's on
there.
There was This Old Empire where I was building up the workbench.
Your video at the state fair.
Yep, the state fair video. So there's a few that are on there. I promise I will do more. What you have to understand is when I left Alaska and we were doing all those builds, it was a move. So 30 days there, new job, 30 days, Korea for 45 days, Japan for 30 days, the holidays, and now time to build. So it's amazing how fast time flies where you're like, I didn't have any time to do anything.
You're not having fun.
So.
Right.
Did you find it?
But so there's I like Schwolf's idea. So like we could do voice coaching. Right? So you have the sound set up so we could sit there and pull the sound files together for somebody and sit there and be like, no. You don't sound nearly snooty enough. You won't work for a Tarkin.
That's true. You've gotta be meaner. Well, shoot, I can't find your channel. There's a lot of Brian Petersons that have I was gonna pull it up and go, hey, look, this is it.
Yeah, but some of that stuff's all hidden. I'm not as brave as you are, and I just
there's a lot that never gets shown.
That's truth.
So
you didn't subscribe to your best friend's channel?
No, I did, but
rude.
It's amongst all the other thousands of fans and people he subscribed to.
So this is Brian's channel. If you want to go see it,
see
if I can get it
there.
There you go.
Focus.
That's Brian's channel.
Yeah, that was my This Old Empire building up the work bait in the Imperial hangar.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Back to the question.
In answer to your question, Cody, the costumes from Juno Eclipse. I have not done one, and I probably won't.
Juno Eclipse. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, which Juno Eclipse? There's like
I've looked.
Is it the undercover Juno Eclipse in the sarong see-through thing?
No, not a chance in hell. Never.
Perfect for Kids Day.
Yes.
Well, some of those people we met the first Kids Day. Yeah. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for liking my phone. I appreciate that.
Legion and hospital visits, right?
Totally appropriate. Let's see. There was any plans to make any more sabers? Yes and no. I'm currently building or going to be building. Well, I'm building. same thing. It's going to take a while,
A month.
but
Ish.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, the later versions, the older Obi-Wan Kenobi version, saber for him, and then someday my Korbanth or Sith Planet Crossguard version 2, which is Kylo saber, is going to arrive, and I'm going to build that out and probably sell it. I have a Darth Maul that I'm going to convert and sell outright because it's anyway, and then I have another Vader that I'm going to convert into NeoPixel and sell that too. So when, I have no idea, because that's like at least 8 months of work right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's gonna be a while, unless all of a sudden like I have a space where I don't have work at my day job. But then there's always other projects that pop up, like house stuff, and
Say even in the winter, you didn't have a hard time
I know there's always something.
finding work.
There's always stuff.
Hey, Fantastic Raids. PVC hilt. Yeah, you could do PVC hilt. That'd be interesting. Have I converted a Luke Skywalker Force Effects, the green one? No, I haven't.
So he's not asking, have you? He wants you
Oh,
to do.
can I?
Will you? Can you?
Oh,
Will you please? Begging.
so
Please?
the answer is yes, I could, but not right now. Check with me in the fall, sometime.
Fall-ish.
Fall-ish.
Ish.
So in
And by
Alaska,
fall,
that's
that's
like
like
October.
Yeah.
Big-ish.
By Halloween, ask.
September, October.
So Celebration 9 in Anaheim. We gonna try?
That's oh yes.
I think that's
I
gonna
thought that was
happen.
the plan.
Yes, Tom. It is a K4. It is. Yes, Anaheim. If it's in Anaheim, it's gonna happen.
Oh,
I'm making it
absolutely.
happen. Not only that, but it's really close to my wife's family, so I
Yeah,
can totally sell
You'll be
that
there
trip
so
over
much
there.
time. You're like, sweetie, go over here.
We could totally sell that trip.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Night, Cody.
Night.
yeah. So Justin, no, you can't give me your cell phone number because you shouldn't put your cell phone number out on the internet for anybody to read. That is
No.
not a good idea.
Yep.
And I don't
Bad
give my
juju.
cell phone number out to just anybody either. So, let's see. Celebration next year, definitely.
I don't know if
going.
I'd take R2 to that. That would just be.
That'd be a lot of work and
That'd be a
money.
lot of
Well,
work.
I mean, so you hear some of the nightmare stories about some of the Comic Cons, like in Texas, they would not allow some of the people. They were taking their props from people and destroying them on site without any announcement. So people had put all that cosplay work. So I'm just like, yeah, small car driving through. No, you can't touch it. I'll sit outside and wave.
Yeah, no.
Or
Yeah.
walk in with just the door panel. I might do that.
So I have to
Like-
get my Wookiee done by then because I don't want to travel down there with Vader.
Right?
I mean, I do, but
It could
I
be
don't.
just in a gym bag. And when it pulls
Yeah,
out, then
right?
it's got the right smell.
True. Wet carpet.
Yes.
Wet mildewy carpet.
Sweaty carpet.
So in California, if we got the hair right, we could practice, flipping our hair.
Yeah.
Wookiees on hoverboards.
Yeah. That could work.
Yeah, excellent.
Hey,
This is how
see-
bad ideas come up.
This is
That's
Wookiee
how it is
surfing?
all the time.
Wookiees with hoverboards with 3D cameras going down through downtown.
Lord almighty. Well, this stream's going downhill. Probably about time to wrap it up. Anyway, so
I said it was only gonna be 30 minutes anyways, right?
yeah, 30 minutes. That was 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So
It always is.
yeah, I'll say we'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll be live streaming again, maybe on Saturday when we're at the big event, and it might be live streaming in 360. So
Maybe.
keep an eye out for that.
Don't ask any questions. No one's gonna be watching.
Yeah.
We won't be responding.
We will be.
I promise. We're gonna
It will
be.
The
just
most
be
you'll
pure
get is,
shenanigans.
Hey, and then wish us luck because we'll need it.
We'll wave at the camera
Yeah.
constantly. I promise that.
Yeah.
If it's up, we'll constantly
yeah.
wave at it, point at it, tell people to smile and wave.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's being live
Like,
streamed.
look at the world.
Oh, we could always put a little sign above it that says, "Hey, if you want to see it's
Smile,
live
you're on
stream,
candid camera.
you're on a live stream."
Yeah, live stream. That's true. We could. Yeah, so that'll be a fun event. And for those of you that don't know, Kids Day, if you've seen them in the past, it's a day where it's like free for the community. There's lots of businesses there, and then they've invited us the last few years to come and be part of it for pictures and stuff like that. And about 25 to 30,000 people go through there in a
No,
6
kids.
hour period. Kids.
20 to 35,000 kids.
So that's then plus parents and aunts and uncles and families and
All the
so
people.
on. And so it's a
Yes.
huge deal.
Massive
It's
event.
insanely busy. And last year worked super well. Hopefully it'll work that well again this year. The first year we didn't realize that we would basically stop one whole side of the building for people taking pictures
and wrap it around the building,
and wrap it around
the outside, and
so
the line would never end, and everyone
lesson
would be
learned.
angry. And
Every time we try to take a 10-minute
I
break,
wanted
it was
to
like, "Where are you going?"
Crawl into the table and die.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you again soon in the next video, which will be soon because I have actually almost finished editing and uploading the video from like weeks and weeks and weeks ago.
it was a really good show.